everybody's comfortable and lying on the mat. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with a little bit of work into the pelvis. So you want to make sure your knees or your feet are hip distance apart. Your tailbone or your sacrum should feel really heavy on the mat. Your lower back is soft. So you should just be able to glide your hands underneath your lower back where that curve is, that natural lumbar curve. Ribs are touching the floor or into the mat. Shoulders and collarbone are open. And you can just pop your hands onto your stomach for me, okay? And all I want you to do is just close your eyes and take a couple nice deep breaths in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So when we breathe in, we want the ribs to swing open. As we exhale, we want to imagine we've got a little waist belt that's gently tightening. Good. 2 more like that. Big breath in. So we start the class calm and focused, and big exhale, waist narrows. We feel those abdominals sink towards the floor. So on the next one, we're going to add in a little movement. So I want you to take a nice deep breath in through that nose. And then as you exhale, I want you to imagine that waist narrowing. And I just gently want you to close that little gap between your lower back and the mat. And what you'll do, so you kind of just gently press your lumbar spine into the floor, you'll feel that those abdominals kind of wake up a little bit, and then you relax. And we're going to do 3 more like that. Big inhale, ribs swing open. Exhale, waist narrows. We gently close the space between the lower back and the mat, gently connecting your back to the floor, and then release. Really nice. 2 more, big breath in. Exhale, abdominals sink into the floor, lower back is connected, everything's switched on, and release. Last one here, big breath in. Exhale, waist narrows, abdominals gently contract. Beautiful. So from there, we're going to do what we would call a pelvic clock. So just relax the pelvis. And I want you to imagine your numbers on a clock. So you've got 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock is down by your feet, 9 o'clock is over to your right, okay? And what I want you to do is I just gently want you to press that lower back into the floor the same way we did, and just curl your tailbone up slightly. And the aim is that we're kind of rocking our pelvis to what we would call 12 o'clock, okay? You're then going to relax the pelvis. From there, we're going to 3 o'clock. So you're just going to tilt the pelvis over to the left. You might feel that the right hip lifts up a little bit, and that's okay. And then you're going to come back through center. You're then going to tilt your pelvis forward. So drop your pubic bone down towards the floor, which means the arch underneath the spine is going to get a little bit bigger. And then relax. And then finally, you're going to tilt your pelvis over to the right. So 3 o'clock. And then back to center. And we're going to do it again. So you're going to exhale, press the lower back into the floor. You just curl your tailbone up, and it's as if you pull your pubic bone towards your belly button at 12 o'clock. And then relax. So we're kind of hitting those points of the clock. We tilt the pelvis over to the left. If your right hip lifts slightly, that's absolutely fine. And back to center. Drop the pelvis or pubic bone down, so you've got a little bit more arch in that lower back. And to center, and then over to the right. And I just want you to do a couple of these for me in your own time. And if you can, make it smooth. So if you can try and make it like a very smooth circle. So as if we're kind of rolling our pelvis around in that nice circle. And what this is to really bring awareness into our pelvis. It's to help us find that connection in our pelvic floor. Which is also super, super important, right? You've got to think our pelvic floor, it's what holds us in, right at the bottom. It's like our little hammock. So having strong pelvic floor, strong pelvic floor and core are all interconnected. So once you've done a couple of those rock and rolls, trying to keep the knees, you might find that the knees want to go for a wiggle as well. Try and keep the knees as still as you can. You're going to bring those hips back to center for me. From there, we're going to move into a full pelvic curl. Now, I'm going to leave my cushion there, but if you want to get rid of your cushion for this, you can. It's what's comfortable. You're going to put your hands down by your side this time. Exactly the same thing we just did. You're going to gently press the lower back into the floor, but this time you're going to curl your bottom off. So I'm curling my tailbone and I'm rolling up through the spine. Now you're going to lift up as high as you feel comfortable into a bridge shape. So you'll notice I've got a straight line from my knee to my shoulder. Lovely long thighs. When you get to the top, you're going to roll down. I want you to think of articulating through the spine, scooping those abdominals. Tailbone is the last thing to go. Beautiful, same thing. We start by just gently closing the gap between the back and the mat, scooping the tailbone off, stretching the front of those thighs into your nice bridge. Doesn't matter how high. And then slowly articulating chest, scooping those tummy muscles and controlling the spine back down. And I just want you to do a couple here, and it's all about finding that scooping action, that curling of that pelvis. Really nice. Lovely, ladies. Good. Beautiful. We're going to do 2 more here and really take that time and focus on that articulation downward. So the scoop is important, but it's much easier to find the articulation on the way down. So if you're finding it, you know, maybe it's a bit harder to find that deep scoop on the way up, don't worry. Concentrate on that articulation as you come down. So it's also really, really good for our spine to build up that abdominal and back strength, right? To find that curl. Good. So finishing off this last one here for me. Beautiful. Stretching the front, lifting the hips, and then so slowly placing that back down into the mat. Lovely. So from there, we are going to carry on with that abdominal work, and we're going to do some nice toe taps. So same thing. We gently close the gap between the back and the mat. Our abdominals are switched on. We've got that support. We're going to float our right leg up to tabletop position. So my knee is bent and my shin bone is parallel to the floor. My back is secure. From there, I pop that foot down. I keep my back in that nice secure position. I lift my left leg up. I pop my left leg down. And then you can relax the spine. So think, exhale, just gently close the gap between the back and the mat. One leg lifts up and lowers. Other leg lifts up and lowers. And I want you to do a couple of these. And the trick is that we don't want to be pressing our back and causing tension. That's going to get really tight in that neck. We're just gently finding that connection. It helps us to engage through those abdominals. And when we're starting to lift the legs and our pelvis and our abdominals are taking the weight of the legs when in the air, we know we've got that nice support from the spine. Good. I want you guys to do a couple in each direction, or on each side, I should say. That's it. Keep the breath going all the time. And if that's the thing, you know, if you're new to Pilates, don't worry about thinking, oh God, should I be breathing now or should I not? Just keep your breath flowing. Yeah, just keep it going all the time. Good, nice and slow. Tailbone stay nice and grounded. It might feel like you want to lift that tailbone up. Keep it grounded, okay? Good. Finishing off our last one here, we're going to add on. Now, if you feel comfortable where you are and this feels challenging enough, then you are good to stay where you are. If not, we're going to add on. Exactly the same. Close the little gap between the back and the mat. Float right leg to tabletop position. This time we're going to leave the leg in tabletop. We're going to lift our left leg up. So now we've got both of those legs there and we're going to hold it. From there, I want you to place both your hands on the top of your thighs. And I want you to just lift the elbows slightly. So that creates width across the back. I want you to take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And then exhale, I want you to push your hands into your thighs and your thighs into your hands. And you're going to feel all those muscles from underneath the armpit to through the abdominals connect. And then just gently relax. And we go again. Exhale. Push hands into thighs. Push the thighs into the hands, wide elbows, push down and feel that nice deep connection through all those core muscles. And release. Lovely. Last one here, guys. Exhale. Push down through the thighs. Feel those abdominals sink into the floor. Elbows slightly lifted so we get that work underneath the shoulder blade as well. And relax. Just grab hold of the top of the knees and just gently pull them into the chest to relax. So I love to do that exercise so that you can feel our core. It's such a broad word, core, right? But really, it's all those muscles that support the spine. So you've got abdominals, you've got back muscles, you've got pelvic floor. So it's a really nice reminder of what we are working. So from there, we're going to add on, we're going to come back to our tabletop position. Lower back is secure. This time, pop your hands down by your side. I want you to flex your feet. So you kind of bring your toes towards you. And this time, we're going to do toe taps changing. So I'm going to drop my right heel down towards the floor, lower back doesn't move, and then I'm going to change my legs mid-air. Now, when we're moving from this position, we are hinging from our hips. So you notice that I'm not bending my knee to try and touch my foot to the floor, okay? My leg is staying at that right angle, and I'm hinging from my hips. We've got a lot of work into our hip flexors. Really great to have strong hip flexors, and our core is what's keeping that back supported. I want you to give me a couple here while I come and have a little look. Now, if you can't get that heel all the way down to the mat without compromising your back position, don't worry. You go as far as you feel comfortable. I want you to give me 4 more here. Nice, ladies. Really, really good. Lovely. Once you've finished your 4th one, grab hold of the tops of those knees and gently pull them into the chest and give yourself a little lower back release. Lovely. Really, 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 really nice. Good, guys. Okay. So from here, let's come and we're going to do a little exercise called a dead bug. So we're going to start by keeping one foot on the mat. So place both the feet onto the floor. You're going to float your right leg up to tabletop position. So remember, connect the lower back in the mat, feel secure. You're then going to float your left arm up towards the ceiling. Okay? So we've got opposite arm, opposite leg. From there, I'm going to reach my arm and leg away from me, keeping my lower back connected, keeping my rib cage connected to the mat. And then I'm going to bend the knee and pull the arm back in. So you reach our opposite arm and opposite leg away, and then pull the arm and leg back in. Now, the trick with this exercise, again, that core that we found that engagement for, that is what's staying connected on the mat. Often when we reach the arms behind us, we want to arch the upper back and let the ribs open, and there's a big gap there. So I want you to really fight to gently keep that connection between the whole core as we reach the arm and leg back. Nice. Very nice, guys. Good. You're going to give me 2 more here. So stretching the arm and leg away. So we're staying on the same side. Good. So Christine, when that arm goes back, can you stretch that leg in front? So really straighten that leg. That's it. And then the arm and leg come back in together. That's it. Good. Finishing off this last side here, we're going to go straight to the other side. So you're going to pop that right arm and left foot down on the floor. We're then going to float our right leg to tabletop position and lift our left arm. You're then going to stretch that arm and leg away from you and come back in. Good. So making sure that we switch sides, same rules apply. I've got my rib cage connected, keeping the breath flowing, and the arm and leg should feel really, really light. We're really controlling. So one amazing thing about Pilates is it teaches us control and precision of movement, okay? And this is one of those moves. Good. So we've got one leg in the air and one arm in the air, and they both stretch away together and they both come in together. That's it. 2 more here, guys. So one foot is always on the floor, grounding us, and opposite arm and leg reach away. Fantastic. Now, relax. If this feels good, I want you to stay where you are, okay? The next progression is we're gonna have both of our legs in tabletop position. So let's get there. Let's sink that lower back into the mat and float both the legs to that tabletop position. Our back is secure, and then we're gonna lift both of our hands. Now I've got my palms facing one another. I am going to reach my right arm and my left leg away from me. So I'm stretching them out. I then pull the arm and leg back in together and then alternate sides. Now, the lower that you lift, or the lower the leg goes and the further the arm reaches back, the more demand is placed on the core. So you don't have to go all the way down. Work to what feels comfortable for you. But remember, we're maintaining the lower back and the rib cage, and the arm and legs float away. So it gets the name dead bug because we look a bit like a dead bug, but we're Pilates, so we want to try and be as graceful as we can, keeping that nice security. And if at any point it doesn't feel comfortable or you feel that the lower back is being compromised, you can always put one foot on the floor, okay? Give me 2 more here. So 1 more on each side. Lovely, ladies. Really good work. Really, really good work. And then I want you to grab hold of the tops of those knees and then just gently pull them in towards the chest once you've finished. Beautiful. Really, really good. Okay. So from there, we're going to make our way onto our front and we're going to do a little bit of work into our back. Now, if you find that you get discomfort in the lower back when you lie on your front, you can pop a cushion underneath your waist, so right underneath your belly button, and it just helps to support the lower back. So we're going to be lying on our front. You can also have a little cushion underneath the forehead. I find that helps to keep the neck in line. You're then going to have your elbows bent and your forearms on the mat. So you'll notice my elbows are quite close to my ribs and my legs are a nice comfortable distance apart. So don't worry about them being together, just get as comfortable as one can be in this position. And then you want to be looking down at your mat. You're going to gently press your pubic bone into the floor and just float your chest off the mat. Now the back of the neck is long. There's no pressure in the hands, and then you gently release. So we're not lifting our hands off the mat, but we've got a very light touch. So we're not having to push the floor away. We are floating our chest off the mat. And this is not about getting up as high as you can. Okay, this part of our spine, our thoracic spine, it doesn't go very far that way naturally. It's not designed to. So if you're only lifting up a couple of inches, that's awesome. That's exactly where we want to be. And then once you get there, I want you to think about elongation, like somebody's trying to pull your head and neck out of your shoulders. Yes, yes, that's it, guys. Beautiful. Good. You were going to give me 2 more here. Just keep your breath flowing. Keep that feeling of elongation through the spine. Gorgeous. And then just gently relax. Very nice. So from there, we're going to add on. I want you to place the hands directly underneath your shoulders. So you'll notice when you do that, that the elbows lift, and that's absolutely fine. So this time, I'm going to roll my shoulder blades together. So I roll the shoulder blades together. I then think of pressing my elbows down as I lift my chest up. This gives me a little bit more extension, a little bit more height. My back of my neck is still long, and then I relax into the floor, let the shoulders relax. So let me see, shoulder blades roll together, the elbows press down towards the floor as we lift the chest off the mat, looking down at your mat, and then release. And we're going to do a few more here. The other great thing to remember is that these extension exercises are really good for us. They're amazing posture exercises, but these are the exercises that's going to really help to strengthen those spinal extensors, keep us feeling really tall. Yeah? Good. Lovely, ladies. Really nice. And let me see that roll the shoulder blades together. Yeah? So my hands are very, very close. They're right underneath. Roll those shoulder blades together. That's it. And then think elbows down, chest up. That's it. Yes. Really nice. We're going to finish our last one here. Beautiful. And then relax. Good. Really, really nice. So just you can make a little pillow for your forehead with your hands. Give your bottom a little wiggle from side to side just to loosen through the hips. And we are going to add on, okay? So we're going to have our hands in the same position that they were before, directly underneath that shoulder, okay? I'm going to roll my shoulder blades together. I'm going to press the elbows down, lift the chest up. Now, if you feel comfortable, I want you to see if you can maybe float your feet off the floor. If you feel comfortable with the feet off the floor, see if you can float the hands off the floor. So we're kind of doing like a Mission Impossible style thing. And then I gently control back down. Now, if you do not feel comfortable lifting both legs off the floor, see if you can lift one leg off the floor. And then the hands and come down. And if you don't feel comfortable lifting your legs off the floor, see if you can float the hands off. So there's lots and lots of options available, okay? So let's try one all together. So, rolling the shoulder blades together, press the pubic bone into the floor. Gently lift the chest up, so elbows down, chest up. Now, if you feel comfortable, you can take one leg up at a time. If you feel comfortable, can you take both legs off? If you're feeling adventurous, can you take your hands off too? Can you hold it for that second? And then slowly relax down into the mat. Beautiful work, guys. Really nice. We're going to do 3 more. So roll the shoulder blades together, chest lifts up. If you feel comfortable, can you take one leg off? Maybe the second. Good. And then hands and relax. Lovely, ladies. Really, really, really nice. Okay. So remember, shoulder blades together, elbows pressed down. So we've got that feeling of length. Not about lifting high, it's about lifting comfortable. Take legs off if you feel comfortable. Let the hands just float off the mat. Hold it for a second. And come down. Really, really nice. This is our last one here. Relax, relax. Shoulder blades together. It's tough work. It's a lot of work for these posture muscles. Yeah, chest lifts up. Think of pressing the elbows down. Long neck now. Just gently float your legs up if you feel comfortable. See if you can float your hands up if you feel comfortable. Then just gently relax into the floor. Beautiful. And breathe. Really, really nice. Not easy stuff. We're going to sit back into a child's pose. So you can sit back into all fours. You're going to keep your bottom high in the air, but walk the hands forward. So the aim is we want to try and keep the spine lovely and long in this position. Let the chest drop to the floor, hips up towards the ceiling, and just take 3 lovely long deep breaths here. Good. 2 nice deep breaths here. Beautiful. Last one. Good. From there, we're going to finish in a nice all fours position. Okay. Now, the first thing I would like for you guys to do is to come onto your forearm. Okay. So I'm resting on my forearm and my spine is nice and straight. So there's no curve and there's no arch. Think about being one lovely long line. Now from here, we're going to do a little bit of work into our shoulders. So working on those muscles we were just doing. I want you to sink your chest towards the floor and think about squeezing your shoulder blades together and then pushing the mat away and feel your shoulder blades spread apart. So you drop the chest towards the floor, feel the shoulder blades squeeze together, and then push the mat away with your arms and feel the shoulder blades spread apart. So we're working those muscles in that mid and upper back and around the shoulder, okay? And this is super important, just for our posture for our day-to-day, but also when we're working on all fours, when we're doing push-ups, all those lovely things. So I want you to finish your last one here, and then I would love for you to come up onto your hands. So we're back to that all fours position. Now, see if you can do exactly the same thing here. I keep my arms straight, sink my chest towards the floor, squeeze my shoulder blades together, push the mat away, feel my shoulder blades spread apart. So you'll notice there's no change in my spine. My spine stays the same. It's my shoulders that are squeezing together and spreading apart. So we call these little scapular push-ups, and they're a really great way to just find that connection into that mid-back. Nice, ladies, really good. You're going to finish off your last one here, okay? Now, from there, we're going to tuck our toes underneath, okay? And I want you to see if you can just float your knees 1 inch off the mat. Float, 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 and come back. Nice, and we go again. Float those knees off the mat. Hold, and come back. Good, we've got 3 more here. Exhale, find that connection, push the floor away, knees come off. And down, good work. Last 2, exhale. Spine is long, abdominals lift, knees float off the floor. And down, last one here all together, here we go, big exhale. Hover those knees off the mat, see if we can hold it here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, relax and come down. Come up to a nice high kneeling position for me. Best foot forward. Use your hands, tuck your back foot under, come stand up nice and tall. Brilliant, guys. How are we feeling? Good? We'll quickly finish in our little Pilates V. So we're like heels together and toes apart. And the sensation is like you've got a little 50-pound note between your butt cheeks, yeah? Just take a big breath in and just roll the shoulders down the back. Hopefully we feel that a little bit taller, that little bit longer. Find a focus on the wall in front of you. Rise up onto those tiptoes. See if you can hold your balance. Lovely, and then just slowly lower down into the mat. 1 more here. See if we can find it. So we rise up onto those tiptoes. See if you can hold it, 50-pound note between those butt cheeks. And down, last one here, think. Push the floor away. Good. See if you can take those hands all the way up overhead for this one. Lovely. We're then going to take a nice deep breath in. Press down hands, shoulders, and heels. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. You guys are all done. Very well done, ladies. How do we all feel? Good?
Fine, thank you.
Yes, very, very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure, ladies. Enjoy. Best thing to practice this week, I would practice that little engagement. You know, we had both the legs in tabletop and we gently pushed our hands into our thighs. So we really understand that connection. And your little chest lifts. Yeah. Remember them if you can. Couple minutes or couple times, you know, whenever you remember is better than nothing. Keep moving. And I will see you guys hopefully next week.